Rahim. In a network management, our topic is NAT. NAT is Network Address Translation Protocol. When you want to access the internet, you need one public IP address, but we can use a private IP address in our private network. If you are a network administrator, you need to configure your all system within a network and assign these systems with a private IP address, and you need one public IP address if you want to be seen by outside of the network, or if you want to publish your own server or your own database, you need a public IP address. The difference between public and private IP address is that the private IP address has been used within a local area network. It cannot be used in a wide area network, and private IP address has been used in a public network, not recognized or a network. You cannot be recognized from the network, recognized or the network. Public IP has been recognized over the network. Private IP is assigned by the local administrator. Suppose you are a local administrator, you are going to assign the systems the private IP address, and public IP address is being assigned by the service provider who provide you the internet connections, or IANA. Uniquely within the LAN private IP address, and uniquely globally, mean all over the world, is being unique. No need to give free of charges, no need to give charges for the private IP. You need to give charges to the local server provider yearly or monthly. The range of private IP address, there are three classes used for data communication: class A, B, and C. The range of class A is from 1 to 126. 127 is loopback IP. So within the 1 and 126, 10 network is used as a private IP network. Class B is the class B range is from 128 to 191. Within this range, 172.16 and 172.31. 2.31 means 16 network. There is only 10. The rest are the host IP address, and here 16 network has been used as a private IP class. And class C range is from 192 to 224. So within this range, 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255 is being used for private network, and this is the network. 255 network has been separated for private IPs, and the rest are used as a public IPs. Now, why we use NAT? NAT has been used if more than one system has been configured within your local network and want to connect to the internet. So this port, the router of your network, one port has been connected within the local network with a private IP, and the next port, which is being connected to the internet, must be configured with a public IP address. If this is the situation, you need a NAT within this router to translate from public IP address to private and from private to public. So NAT has been used to translate local IP address, mean private IP address, to public IP address. Public IP address is also called global IP address, and same vice versa, mean the global IP address is being translated to local IP address, and local IP address is being translated to global IP address, and so on. The NAT also translate port number. Now the port number is the mask the port number of the host with another port number. Port number is used for applications. Suppose for browsing the port number is 80. So the NAT translate that 80 to another port number for identification of a system. And also note that port number in IP address in its own NAT table, network address translation table. So how NAT is working? NAT must be configured in a border network, which we shown in our system. This is the suppose local area network. This is another local area out of the internet. You want to connect with this local area. This is the local inside. This is your private network local inside, and this is inside global. Inside global mean your network router. This port is connected with the internet. This is the global outside global, and this is the outside local. So the outside local, inside local is your private network, inside global is your private network router facing this is the border gateway router which is facing the internet, and this port is actually facing the internet, so it is called inside global. This is outside global, this is outside local. Now there is one thing you need to note, that the NAT is ran if NAT is ran out of IP address, no address is left in the pool, then the packet has been dropped and ICMP message has been sent, so that he knows that his packet is not been delivered. There are three types of NATs: static NAT, dynamic NAT, and port address translation. The first one is a static NAT. Static NAT is used to map one public IP address to one private IP address. So if you have three systems in your local area network, you need three public IP address to map one private IP address with one public IP address. It is generally used for web hosting, because not used in organization, because if you have suppose 3000 4000 systems in your local area network, you need 3000 to 4000 public IP address, which is been too costly, very costly, and almost impossible for the organization to support that. So it is a one-to-one mapping. NAT is one-to-one mapping, static NAT, and it is generally used for web hosting, which map only one IP address with another IP address. Suppose this is the public IP, this is the pool of public IP address, and this is the pool of private IP address. This is your system. Private IP addresses, this is your public. So in a NAT table, this private IP address has been translated to this 102 has been translated to 102, 103 has been translated to 103, and always it is being translated with the same IP address. Now we are going to see how it is being configured in a packet tracer. So we need to place one router, a switch is not being needed, but we need to add switch, router, and suppose a server which we want to connect with. Now we need to connect all these Ethernet 01 02 with gigabit 00. This is the default gateway of your local. This is the local area network, and this is gigabit 00 is the default gateway of your network. Now we need to connect this one. Gigabit 01 is the the interface which is facing the internet. So it is actually facing the internet. Now we need to assign IP addresses. Suppose 200.100 dot suppose dot 100.2 to this systems, and 192.168.1.100 to this system, and the interface will be 192. Default gateway will be 192.168.1.1. This is the IP address of this interface. This interface will be 200.100.100.1. This interface IP address, the IP address of this system, the IP address of this interface, and the IP address. Now we need to give IP addresses to this system. Desktop IP address 192.168.1.100. The default subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and default gateway is 192.168.1.1. This is the default gateway, through which the packet will go to the internet. So this is 1.1. Now we need to give IP address to this gigabit 00. Now enable configuration terminal interface gigabit. This is gigabit 0/0, and IP address will be 192.168 and 1.1, and subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0, and no shutdown. So now we need to give IP address to gigabit 01. So exit interface gigabit 0/1. This is 0/1. Enter. IP address will be 200.100.100.1, and subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0, and no shutdown. Now we need to give IP address to the server. Desktop IP address. So the IP address will be 200.100.255.0. Default gateway is 200.100.1. 200.100.1. Now the IP address is being configured in all the system. Now we need to configure the NAT. Go to the router and give command like IP NAT inside source static. IP NAT will be configured inside source static. The configuration will be not dynamic, it will be static. So give him the local 192.168. inside is 1.1, and outside of the NAT will be 200.100.100.1. NAT has been configured. Now you need to show them which interface is the inside of the NAT, which is the outside of the NAT. So for that you need to go to interface gigabit 00. 00 is the inside of the NAT. So IP NAT inside. Exit interface gigabit 01. 01 is the outside of the net, IP net outside. So we show them the inside of the net and outside of the net. Now we need to check whether it has been working or not. This is the packet. You need to check. Click on this and click on the server. The first one definitely will be failed because it is a packet tracer successful. Now you need to check how it go. From this it will go to the switch. From switch it will go to the router. From router it will go to the server. From server it will accept the packet and return the reply to the router, and from the router to the switch, and from the switch to the system. The system will accept the reply. It has been successful. So this is how it is going. Now we are going to see the NAT table. How you are going to see the NAT table? Show IP NAT translation. This is the IP NAT translation table. This is the inside global, inside global. This is in 200.1.1 is inside global. Inside local is 192.168.1.1, and outside local and outside global will be appear when we connect this router with internet, and from internet there will be another router of another network and another system within that network. Then it will appear that outside local and outside global. So this is how we are going to configure the static NAT.